We begin each meeting with an invocation. Tonight, Pastor Greg from Freedom Life Church will lead us in the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mike Allen, our Assistant Superintendent for Middle School Curriculum. And our national anthem tonight will be sung by a trio of students from Toho High School Band, Luis Vasquez, Jorge Santiago, and Javier Rondon, under the direction of Scott Abbott. Our mission statement will be read by Ashton Terry, Principal of COA, and translation service by Linda Reyes. If you would, please silence your cell phones and rise with me for our invocation.
Father, thank you so much that we have this opportunity to pray at this meeting. Thank you, Father, for Osceola County. Thank you for all the wonderful people that live in this place and all the families and students that are just represented in this meeting as they meet together just to make decisions. And Father, help our county be better. I pray, Father, that then they would look to you, every one of them that makes decisions, for wisdom. For only you can give us true wisdom to know what to do and how to do it, how to make things better. Father, I'm asking you that you'd grant that tonight. And I pray, Father, for your blessing upon every school, no matter what level it is, upon every student, upon every teacher, upon every principal, every educator. Father, may your grace be upon this place in Osceola County. Father, protect our schools. Keep them safe. Protect them from any danger. And Father, may you give every teacher wisdom and grace, every principal the knowledge they need to lead those schools at higher levels. Lord, we bless you and we thank you that you are good, and we invite you in this place tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. Our mission statement.
Good evening. The School District of Osceola County, Florida's mission statement is inspiring all learners to reach their highest potential as responsible, productive citizens.
Thank you very much. And comments from the board. Mr. Soto, do you have any comments?
I do. So, today marks the birthday of Friedrich Nietzsche. I just wanted to say a few things about it. You can always tell when a high school student has read Nietzsche by the way that they behave. It's always a little bit different. I think the high school students here, or the parents of them, will probably agree with me. It's something that always goes off. Well, Nietzsche had a very interesting way of writing very, very clear about very, very profound ideas. I have an article that I posted on my social media from brainpickings.org. If you do not follow brainpickings.org, you should. They have a lot of very interesting historical essays and writings that are very uplifting. So on this one, talk a little bit about Friedrich Nietzsche, born October 15th in 1844. He believed that embracing difficulty is essential for fulfilling life, and considered the journey of self-discovery one of the greatest and most fertile existential difficulties. And it's very interesting because he wrote a lot of things, a lot of them that are very famous, controversial, whatever you want to call it. He was very profound. But he really had a lot to say about education. And he wrote a lot about that. And this particular article actually touches on it. And I'm going to go ahead and just read from it directly, because I think it's very profound. It's a little dense, but if it inspires you to look it up and read it in your own and discuss it with other people, I think it makes for a real nice topic of conversation. Right, Mr. Booth? Your true education.
Anything about all that?
Well, here's the opportunity for you to learn. Your true educators and cultivators will reveal to you the original sense and basic stuff of your being, something that is not ultimately amenable to education or cultivation by anyone else, but that is always difficult to assess, something bound and immobilized. Your educators cannot go beyond being your liberators. And that is the secret of all true culture. She does not present us with artificial limbs, wax noses, bespectacled eyes, for such gifts leaves us merely with a sham image of education. She is liberation instead, pulling weeds, removing rubble, chasing away the pests that would gnaw at the tender roots and shoots of the plant. She is an effusion of light and warmth, a tender trickle of nightly rain. So, and you know, as anybody here, like I just said, you know, has ever read upon existential philosophy, Nietzsche is really one of my favorites, one of the easiest ones to understand. A lot of students, really, this is where they get introduced to in high school to philosophy. And yes, that is actually what, education is. It is a path towards understanding your reason for existence. And so I think it's very profound, and today is his birthday. I hope, again, that you follow it on brainpickings.org or follow my social media on Facebook, and you'll find it there as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for this time.
Mr. Soto,
Yeah, what's up, man?
what type of wine do you recommend?
Nietzsche?
Mr. Chairman,
I think a nice-
suggest we move along.
Nice Napa cab would work. Anyways, back to you, Chairman.
Mr. Booth, you're next in line.
Well, somebody who's right up there as a philosopher in this community with the gentleman you just mentioned, I wanted to recognize John Greer is with us tonight because his daughter is up here. But I did want to share this because it was Mr. Greer and his brother Vince that shared with me some words of wisdom that their father shared with them when he became a school board member. Now, I can't share those words of wisdom here on the dais, but I can tell you that I've remembered those through the years, and now that my daughters are in 8th grade and 9th grade, I'm able now to share that with them. I've told them the same thing that your dad told you. Anyway, but I wanted to recognize you. Thank you for being here. I was going to say this, and I'll get a little deeper here, a little philosophy, I guess, because I've been just extremely disappointed. Part of my upbringing when I was a kid, it was the end of the Cold War. As an American youth in the 80s and early 90s, you hated Russia, you hated communism. Hey, guys, it's not that hard. I've been so disappointed in some of our superstars, coaches, basketball players, basketball executives, and networks, sports networks. It's not hard. Freedom is good. Communism is bad. And I hope that we teach our children in our schools every day, freedom good, communism bad. And I hope that in America we can continue to live that way. And I'm just very disappointed to see some of the comments that I've seen from some of the folks who are in the limelight here lately. So, but on this small dais in this small county here in the center of Florida, I just felt compelled to say that tonight. So there you go.
Mr. Weishauer, comments? Dr. Pace?
Yes, Mr. Thacker, thank you, and thank you, members of the board. Thank you, members of the community. Many of you may have known that today and yesterday were student holidays, so that our teachers and staff members had an opportunity to come together and learn and grow as professionals, and also then to take care of those things that need to happen at the end of a grading period as they prepare for the next one. But today I had the opportunity to stop by Gateway High School this afternoon, where all 8 of our traditional comprehensive high schools had an ROTC team on site. They'd been there all day competing in physical types of activities and preparing potentially to protect the freedoms that Mr. Booth mentions that we all do enjoy here in the United States of America. Gateway High School's team was victorious in, I think, 7 out of the 8 events, everything from tug of war to an ammunition carry box back and forth to just a number of different physical tests that the students went through. But as I said to them, the demonstration of student leadership, of teamwork, of commitment, while having fun with their peers was just something that warmed my heart today. And my hat goes off to both the ROTC instructors. The principal of Gateway High School was present and supportive, as well as then the students who made the commitment to be there today when they could have been at the beach with their buddies instead. So.
Okay, and I don't think I can add much to Frederick Nietzsche and Ronald Reagan over here, so.
Could I say one more thing, Mr. Chairman?
Not now.
I forgot.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Top 10 breakfast. I just wanted to say thank you to Congressman Soto, State Representative Mike LaRosa, Commissioner Hawkins for coming out to Harmony High School again. I think this is the 4th or 5th year we've done this. To our top 10 breakfast, to offer those kids help and assistance into getting into a top-tier university. And I know Congressman Soto's already helped some kids. I know I've helped some young folks, and Commissioner Hawkins and Representative LaRosa. So they come every year, and I just want to say thank you for doing that. So sorry, I meant to add that in.
No problem. Presentations. Our first presentation is Hispanic Heritage Month Photo Contest Awards.
Thank you, Chairman, Board, Dr. Pace, and leadership. The Multicultural Education Department, along with the School District of Osceola County, recognizes the societal, economic contributions made by the Hispanic and Latino Americans here in the United States. Through the history of our nation, the Hispanic community has left its footprints through its strong values and commitments to family, faith, hard work, and service. Today, we close the Hispanic Heritage Month by announcing the winners of the 2nd annual Hispanic Heritage Month photo contest with the theme this year of Vision 2020, honoring our past, thriving in the present, and preparing for the future. We would like to thank Naira Alvira, Pam Haas, and the entire team of judges for making this a reality. Last but not least, we would like to thank our business partner, Caribe Travels and Cruise, for their monetary donation for prizes. And we invite Migdalia Sanchez Cruz and Lastenia Peñalosa to assist with awarding the prizes. So if, ladies, you would come forward.
Good evening. Well, I am extremely proud standing here with the opportunity of recognizing talented and young artists. So we're going to start by announcing our 3rd place winners. We have a tie for 3rd place, and they will receive a $50 gift card. The first winner is Brianna M. Smith, and her picture is titled Guava. Second, 3rd place, Emerald Shipley Austera, and her picture is titled La Avenida. Second place winner will receive a $75 gift card. Faith Henry, and her picture is titled Hispanic Heritage. We don't believe that Faith was able to join us today. First place winner goes to Isabel Irisuriata, and her picture is titled Hold On to Your Dream.
That is lovely.
I want to cover that bruschetta coffee is what I want right now.
Yes, come ladies, we want to enjoy all of them.
You guys want the picture?
You all
Wow.
captured the colors.
Yes, we should have a picture. Mr. Thacker.
He's coming.
So
That's awesome.
clever. That looks yummy. Great job.
Where's this at? Congratulations. Where's Fazadil? Osceola scored mine. Okay. Thank you. So, I just ate like 5 of those before. I'm a huge fan of the guava pastries.
This is what? This reminds you of anything?
I can't
just
believe that
recently?
I'm going to bring you some fresh guavas now.
This is, you know what a guava looks like?
I have guava trees all over the place.
Mr. Sonny, you want to come in the picture?
Absolutely. Let me look at the last one here. Oh, that's the fly-by-night. Yes, I love it.
Dave, you want to come right down here?
Now, where are we going to display these at?
Oh, this way? Well, that's for them to take, and then we're going to display them upstairs.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Congratulations again.
You'll see copies of the display case right outside.
I mean, I'm never going to forget this. Jim was Batman, I think. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I went right through the tree.
Thank you all very much. That was beautiful.
Sorry.
Next presentation is School District declares the month of October 2019 as National Principals Month. We have Melanie Stefanowicz, Henry Santiago, Principal of Discovery, and Johanna Santiago, AP at Toho High School.
And if I could just remind the board, Mr. Thacker, Melanie is our District Administrator of the Year, Joanna is our District Assistant Principal of the Year, and Henry is our District Principal of the Year. And we're excited about...
And they were just saying the true test of our talents would be getting through the proclamation. Expressing support for the nation's principals by designating the month of October in the year 2019 as National Principals Month. Whereas the School District of Osceola County has declared the month of October 2019 as National Principals Month in coordination with the efforts of the National Association of Elementary School Principals, the American Federation of School Administrators, and the National Association of Secondary School Principals, working with the U.S. Congress to designate National Principals Month, and resolutions thereof. Whereas the vision, dedication, and determination of a principal provides the mobilizing force behind any school reform effort.
Whereas principals are expected to be educational visionaries, instructional leaders, assessment experts, disciplinarians, community builders, public relation experts, budget analysts, facility managers, special programs administrators, and guardians of various legal, contractual, and policy mandates and initiatives, as well as being entrusted with the education and development of young people, the most valuable resource. Whereas principals will play a vital role in successful implementation of every Student Succeeds Act. Whereas principals set the academic tone for their schools and work collaboratively with teachers to develop and maintain high curriculum standards, develop mission statements, and set performance goals and objectives for schools to achieve education excellence. Whereas the School District of Osceola County honors such exemplary elementary and middle-level public, private, and independent school leaders committed to serving students from pre-kindergarten to grade 8 in their profession.
Whereas the School District of Osceola County recognizes outstanding middle level, and high school principals who have succeeded in providing high-quality learning opportunities for students, as well as their exemplary contributions to the profession. Whereas to honor and recognize the contribution of all school principals and assistant principals at all grade levels to the success of students in Florida elementary and secondary schools, and to encourage residents of Florida to observe National Principals Month, with appropriate ceremonies and activities that promote awareness of school leadership's role in ensuring that every child has access to high-quality education. Be it resolved, in honor of the service of all elementary, middle level, and high school principals, and to recognize the importance of their school leadership so that every child has access to high-quality education, and to celebrate school leader accomplishments, the month of October 2019 is hereby designated in Florida to be National Principals Month.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Booth with a second by Mr. Weishauer to approve the proclamation declaring
Discussion.
discussion.
Again, I say this, I've said it probably a dozen times since Dr. Pace has come on. We all, as school board members, know that the most important thing that happens every day at the school is the interaction between the teachers and the students that goes on inside the classroom. But our job here as school board members, what we're tasked with to do is hire a superintendent. And then that superintendent has a certain level of autonomy. But her most important job is the principles that she puts in place at each and every school. And she's done a fantastic job, as you can see right here with the individuals we have before us. So, yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad we're recognizing principals and doing this. We need to recognize principals more often. So congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to you, Dr. Pace, and thank you for all your hard work.
Well,
That's it, Mr. Chairman.
okay. Motion by Mr. Booth, a second by Mr. Weishauer. No further discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
And Mr. Phelps, thank you for being here today to support your students
And his assistant.
and get your assistant and get your award as a principal. Let's see, appointments and transfers, Dr. Pace.
Yes, sir. Chairman Thacker, members of the board, I'm excited to invite Erica Sanders to the podium this evening. Board members, as you know, Listening and Penaloza became our coordinator for multicultural education at our last board meeting, leaving a vacancy with Mr. Terry at Koa Elementary School. And Ms. Erica Sanders is my recommendation for appointment to be the next assistant principal. She started her career with Osceola County School District as a teacher at Sunrise Elementary School in 2005, and she has since taught and served as a literacy coach and also a dean at both Sunrise and then Reedy Creek Elementary School. She received her bachelor's degree in child development from Florida State University, a master's degree in reading education from Stetson University, and a specialist degree in education leadership from National Louis University. And she has a lady who helped me get my career off to a start as my 9th grade English teacher sitting beside her, who's I think is quite proud of her goddaughter tonight. So board members, Erica Sanders, assistant principal at COA.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Made motion by Mr. Weishauer with a second by Mr. Booth to approve Ms. Saunders as AP at COA. Discussion?
Congratulations and thank you for staying in Osceola County and being with us back to 2005 and growing up here as a teacher, as a dean, as an AP, and a principal now. Thank you for doing that. We really appreciate it.
Very welcome. I'm honored and excited to work with COA, with Mr. Ashton Terry. So,
Before you get too excited, we got to vote.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Have a motion by Mr. Weishauer, second by Mr. Booth. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
You could have waited. Did you have anybody you want to recognize or anything?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yep.
Yes. First of all, I would like to recognize Timmy Golden and William Hennessy for giving me the opportunity and the leadership experience to pursue my endeavors. I also would like to thank everyone here in Osceola County. I've really gained a lot of experience, even promoting student achievement here, I'd like to thank my family and my friends and the staff at Reedy Creek because they supported me as well with this endeavor. And I'm also like to thank Ashton Terry for giving me this opportunity. We're going to do great things here at Coy Elementary, so I'm excited.
Great.
As you can tell.
Good luck to you. Congratulations.
And Mr. Thacker, members of the board, if I could invite Mackenzie Bertram to the podium, please. Board members, as you know, Mackenzie has been a valuable member of the district leadership team for some time. She started as a teacher at Celebration High School, a trainer and facilitator for Resource Connection, secondary language arts resource specialist and ELA supervisor, elementary HMH reading resource teacher, assistant principal at Kissimmee Middle, and currently has been serving for the last 2 years as the coordinator of induction under our federal TIF grant. She received her bachelor's degree in religion from a Presbyterian college and a master's degree in educational leadership from American College of Education. Board members, as you know, back as we were developing our strategic plan, I came to you and requested the additional coordinators for ELA, math, and science to allow us that focused leadership and intentional effort to help us achieve our academic success goals. At the time, we weren't really we didn't feel like we had the right candidate for the coordinator of English language arts, and knowing Mackenzie always has had that skill level in her back pocket, she's always been in the back of my mind, but at the same time I hated to take her off mission with the great work that she's been doing supporting our induction efforts and our mentors and the new Teacher Center project. But Mackenzie, along with Ms. Long and Ms. Deary, have agreed that they believe they can coordinate that induction effort together, and she is willing to assume our coordinator of ELA for K-12 education as well. So this is just giving us one more opportunity to take amazing advantage of the talents that she brings to the work. So I recommend her to be our next coordinator of English language arts.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Booth, a second by Mr. Weishauer. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Congratulations.
Dr. Pace, leadership, and school board, thank you so much for your confidence in this opportunity. I want to thank my family. They're streaming. I think that's the camera. And my current team, my past teams, and my future teams. To you guys, whether it's learning to read or reading to learn, I'm really super eager to help teachers, help students be college, career, and community ready. So thank you for this opportunity.
Right up there, by the way.
Yes.
No, turn around and look right up.
This one.
No, this one.
Towards the board.
This way. When I stream from home, I only see the back of people's heads, so I thought it was that one. Or this one.
You got them covered.
All right.
We're just glad to hear you stream from home.
I do.
You stream from home. Wow.
Congratulations.
We need to have more of Kelvin's wine here.
Oh, shoot. Dr. Pace, I conclude. This is the public comment portion. Wait a minute. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. I got lost on the agenda. I'm sorry. Public comment portion of the meeting. If there's anybody wishing to address the board, there are yellow sheets of paper in the back. You can fill them out and pass them up here, and we will give you 3 minutes to address the board. And so far, I have one. April Jackson. I'll do this then.
April Jackson, 722 Mabette Street, Kissimmee, Florida, President of Osceola County Education Association. And I wanted to personally thank you for our ability to come to an agreement on the Best and Brightest Recognition Award as quickly as we did so that our employees may receive the money in December. My only issue with all of this, and it has nothing to do with you, but I wanted to voice the concern that the state did not recognize the pre-K ESE teachers or the pre-K VPK teachers, and that's 194 individuals total out of all the instructional and paraprofessionals in the classrooms that have not been given the opportunity to receive this bonus. And I feel very badly for them. I ran the numbers financially. It's almost $150,000. And I know that's not a doable number at this point in time in our budget, but it hurts my heart that these individuals who do so much for our early childhood learning have been excluded by our legislators, and it's just not right. And we need to try and convince them in the future that when they include teachers, they include all teachers. This year they did include guidance counselors, deans, media specialists, and so forth. That's great. But our early learners are the most important. If they don't get a good start or a good base, they're not going to be successful in school. And these individuals didn't have the opportunity to receive this funding. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I did mean to announce before we started that, those of you who may have come for the presentations or for the administrative appointments, this is, if you've had enough, this is a time you can sneak out. Nobody will look badly upon you. So,
This gentleman right here smiling.
Well, I concur with the statement you made at the beginning.
Agenda modifications? Dr. Pace?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair, we do have two. Once again, the 5-year work plan was delayed in its release from the state. They have had to extend the deadline because even after our team had been diligently working to complete it, there was a computer glitch and all that information was lost.
Okay.
So I would request that we pull item 12.02, the 5-year work plan. And I also, at your seats, board members, you each have a copy of a blue sheeted item, which is what Ms. Jackson recognized in her public comments. I don't know what my language is today, but I am bringing forward as a recommendation seeking your approval of the Memorandum of Understanding for the Florida's Best and Brightest Teacher Program as it relates to the district's agreement with OCEA to provide those dollars for our retention, recruitment, and recognition awards. That's item 13.02 under the regular agenda.
Okay. Does anybody else have any other changes, additions, deletions? Okay, board.
I do not, and Mr. Chairman, I will move to adopt the agenda, adding, deleting 12.01, 12.02,
Yes.
and adding 13.02. All right? I got that?
I have a motion by Mr. Booth with a second by Mr. Soto to approve the agenda with the addition of 13.02 and the removal of 12.02. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Brings us to our informational items. And I know two of these, or one of these is in our packet. The board review of the items, that's in our packet also. There's nobody speaking to that. And the memorandum of agreement of the youth mental awareness and training, we're good to go with that too? Okay.
Correct.
Just want to make sure. Brings us to item 12.01, and 12.02 was pulled.
I move for approval of 12.01.
Second.
Tim, did you second?
Yes, sir.
Motion by Mr. Booth with a second by Mr. Weishauer for the approval of 12.01. Board, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Brings us to 13.01.
Motion to approve 1301.
Get in on this, Kelvin.
Oh, sure. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Weishauer with a second by Silent Soto.
So let's
I was contemplating existentialism.
Okay. Any further discussion, board, or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Brings us to our additional blue sheeted item of 13.02 on the Florida Best and Brightest Teacher
move
Program.
for its adoption.
Yep. Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Booth and a second by Mr. Weishauer to approve item 13.02. Any comments or questions? I just have one. I appreciate the time that we got, or the speediness we got through this and got it forward, and so we can get it in the hands where it needs to be. So thank you to April and your team and Dr. Pace and your team. Thank you very much. Any other further comments, discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries 4-0. Attorney comments?
Yes,
Barker?
a couple of comments. Members of the board, there have been times in my career where you render an opinion and somebody external to the district, a parent or someone impacted, may not like it and they'll call you, so I want to alert you to an opinion I rendered. We have a school, Mr. Phelps contacted me, in which a parent is insisting the principal has no right to make it a peanut-free school. At this particular school, there are 3 people, students and a faculty member, who have peanut allergies, one of which is airborne and actually went into anaphylactic shock. The parent did not like Mr. Phelps' answer that the principal had the authority. He contacted me. It is my position that, 1, Florida statutes for school boards place upon you the responsibility to protect students and faculty and staff from any harm and keep a safe environment. If you then read your rules, and I think it's 3.02, a principal is responsible to assure there are no hazardous conditions at their school. And I interpret that, along with other sections, to give a principal the complete authority to eliminate the risk to the health and safety of anybody at that school. And if eliminating peanuts is the only way, then, in my opinion, that principal has that authority. Yes.
Does this eliminate peanut butter sandwiches? That was kind of my question.
They do not have anything with peanuts at that school. And when I called the doctor and said, tell me about if it's an airborne allergy, and he said, that's the most dangerous because you may not even eat it. And if you're in the vicinity, you can have the reaction. So I want you to know that opinion in case you get called, because he didn't accept Mr. Phelps' response, et cetera. But I do think you authorize your principals. And it's the first time I've ever seen a principal have a challenge to something to me that was so common sense, that you're trying to protect everybody. But you might get called, and now you have the background. Right. Second thing, on a more positive note, you know, what a lot of people don't see is what I call the back room of the school district, all the people that work really hard. I have never in my 40-plus years in education seen any school district operate as an efficient and helpful truancy program as this district. And Elizabeth Lane is sitting there, who really is at the point. And I just wanted to thank her, because from a lawyer's perspective, you just save a lot of time and money and efficiencies, and I really appreciate it. And what I've seen you do for kids is remarkable.
Thank you.
And then finally,
thank you too, and thank you, Frank, for pointing that out.
No, I almost feel.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I feel like an expectant father. Dr. Pace, the minute that baby arrives, if you'd email us, all right.
We'll have a picture.
That's it.
Okay. Let's see. Dr. Pace, any other business?
Mr. Kreppenbacher, do we need to cancel the executive session
Yes,
that was
thank you.
previously
We will not
scheduled?
have a executive session tonight,
Okay.
members of the board.
Okay, very good. New business board. Does anybody have any new business to come before us? Okay. Board members, any comments, anything before we go to something really interesting here? If not, Trinity, we will give you a crack at us today. So.
Thank you. So, I just have like some feedback that I observe from going to high school every day and from watching and listening to my peers and the people in my classes or even outside of my classes, my friends. And I get a constant feel for the people that aren't recognized as much at school, like the kids that struggle in their classes, and they do try their best, but maybe they aren't as successful as kids who get straight A's or are in the top 10, or they get rewarded for their success and for their effort. And there's just a lot of kids that kind of fly under the radar despite the fact that they are trying their best and they are working their hardest to have a good future, be successful. And I think that it's really important for especially teenage students who kind of feed off of positive feedback from their teachers, from their parents, and from their peers even. And like high school is an age where you might not necessarily have the best relationship with your family, with your parents, because you're a teenager and you just don't. And so I think that it would really be a positive result for kids who don't necessarily do their best but are trying their best to be rewarded for that at school, because you can tell when a student is trying and when they're not. And it just makes me really upset to see my peers that are struggling and yet still trying and then just get nothing in return for it, because I know when I try and I succeed, I see results, and it makes me feel good. It makes me want to succeed again. But there's a lot of kids who don't get that same result. So I just wanted to bring that up to the...
I guess Nietzsche's rubbing off.
Do you have any suggestions of
Yes, what to do?
What teachers or the district or could do?
Honestly, I just, like, for example, like, awards nights and things like that. Like, that's incentive for me to do good, to impress others. And it's much harder to tell when someone is trying their best when maybe their test scores or their grades aren't showing it. But just little rewards for students when you can tell they're showing up, they're working hard, and maybe they aren't getting the grades, but that is the best that some kids can do. Maybe a C is bad to some people, but it's still their best. And I just think that there should be something out there for them, for those students.
Very insightful, Mr. Sutter.
Yes, I have just a few things. Number one, that was extremely insightful.
Thank you.
I would say that, that's something that I've always thought about as well, because I observed as part of my job.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things, and I just want to give this a little bit of promotion. One of the things that I wanted to do was to make sure that when students graduate from high school, maybe they don't have all of the ropes, maybe they don't have all those things. So together with a principal in a certain high school, we come up with an award that every student will get. It's a ribbon, kind of, with the school logo on it, that indicated that they are going to a community college or a college. So it doesn't matter the GPA, it doesn't matter anything, they get that recognition. Mm-hmm. And it's a really nice little thing.
Yeah.
The other thing that and tell me about this idea, I got two things left. The second thing I want to tell you is, so we do this top 10 junior breakfast. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking with a high school, and I say, hey, find me your 10 on the cusp students, that are working hard, but, they're just almost there with the graduation requirements, with the, that you sense that they could use some motivation, and, put it together, because I want to come in for a breakfast with them. So it's not just top 10, but I want the top 10 that, that are struggling and see and talk about, and meet that. And so that's an idea, going along. But the last thing I saved the most important thing I want to talk to you is, young lady, you have demonstrated such a beautiful display of empathy and critical thinking and reasoning with how you, first of all, what you were thinking about and how you articulated it to this board. I couldn't say that I can change anything to make it any better. It was a beautiful display. I loved what you said. I tell you now, I feel I have to go ahead and push through with these ideas that I have. I'm certain that you've inspired the rest of this board to think about this concept. Thank you very, very much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you one more time?
Mm-hmm. One more.
Nicely said, Mr. Soto. Very good. Very well done.
Thank you.
Anything else, Trinity? You
No,
good?
that's all.
Okay. With that, I think we are concluded for the night. And Trinity, we will see you one more time. Thank you very much for being here, and we will stand adjourned.